Yes, 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 y'all. Yes, yes, y'all. Yes, 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 y'all. And we back, y'all. And we back, y'all. Yes, 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 y'all. Um, Another wonderful episode of Art School. I like to welcome everybody that hasn't tuned in or is they has been tuning in to another Sunday. It's been pretty brisky outside. It's pretty cold, but that's that New York City fall weather that we've been asking for so long. Um, that was Macho Man. That was Macho Man Randy Savage. What was the official title?
Circumstance.
Pomp and circumstance. So to everybody that's out there that's jacking playlists and all that, you know what I'm saying? Here's another song that you can jack from my wonderful playlist and my guest playlist, who I like to introduce. Before I do that, though, you're tuning in to our school episode, whatever. We're here with S.STREET Media. Shout outs to 1718 Collective. Yo, it's your boy, your baby moms, your host with the most. I'm out here. I'm still rolling up spliffs, smoking spliffs, not passing spliffs, and all that. And of course, like I said, the best fucking playlist out in America today. America, god damn it. I actually got that from our guest, and I just like this. I knew the brother for a few years. And I'm not gonna say a few years. Like when we talk about like social media years, and it's like, oh, I've been following you for 6 months, so it feels like I've known you for a year. It's like, nah, I've really known this brother for, I would say, at least 8 to 8 years, or
Yeah.
like around 8 years. Quiet as kept. I've been, like I like to roll spliffs. I like to smoke spliffs and things like that. And I can recall earliest like interactions with the spliff, and that was because we were at a friend of ours, God rest his soul, Asani Phoenix, who used to just let everybody and anybody just come by the house and roll up.
Skylar Mob, right?
Yeah, like you know what I mean, like OG Scholar Mob, East New York shit. We were in this my man's basement, and he would invite anybody that seemed like they were, cool, that had something going on, whatever it was, as young as they were. It didn't. I mean, a kid, it mattered at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? Just so you know, what I mean, we don't. What is it called? Incriminate ourselves, but we had a whole bunch of collectives there. We had a whole bunch of creators there, and dudes were skating, dudes were doing this, dudes were doing that, and dudes were doing, and that's where I met this brother. So for tonight's episode, I would just like to, give a warm welcome and a round of applause to my boy Rocko Seymour, man, because he's really been out here. You know what I'm saying?
You guys are way too kind. Way too kind.
Too fucking cool for school. Like I said, we started off, chilling on Miller and Picking. All white. It was a pretty brand new crib. He had one of the biggest basements on the block. I'm not even gonna lie. He just used to invite everybody, and that's poof. You know what I mean? You just started coming around. I was just like, hey man, what are you into?
Word.
It's like, oh, I'm into the arts.
Right.
Not necessarily saying you were into the painting aspect
Right.
of it, but it was like you came with another perspective on how to embrace the culture and our culture.
Right. Right. And you know what? I don't want to toot my own horn, but like I felt like I was not necessarily. I'm gonna say it. I felt like I was kind of like a pioneer to some extent in that with the new age of video and the social media era of video and like these new cameras that we have and stuff like that. I was I can't speak for all of New York City, but like I was out there, I was filming. I felt like I was really making that kind of like look cool.
Yeah, this is like 2009.
Yeah, this was like 2009, 2010. So this was before it was easy to shoot video. Like it wasn't easy to do video back then. It was slow. It wasn't admirable. but I felt like I was one of the people, along with others. I'll say it like that. I was one of the people, along with others, who made videography like a cool thing. I feel like we made it look cool.
So the videography, that's that's like the point where I like to start these discussions and I like to just introduce the guests and so they get a little backdrop of who you are and
Word.
Yo, we were in East New York.
Yeah.
Nobody was really like us in East New York.
Nah.
At this time. This was still like, I'm not going to say desolate, but I think that the ideas and the creators were, it was desolate.
Yeah.
We were a bunch of like skaters when everybody's looking at the push kick kids as like, we even kind of got at you a little bit for the longboard.
Right on.
You know what I'm saying? But we embraced that because we were like, yo, dude, man, this is, 7s and 8s over here, and you come over there with a 10 and a 12, deck, and we just like, yo, but nobody else was doing that in East New York.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
You speak about that. Is that part of the lineage? Like where you representing, because I always thought Rocko was from the East.
Definitely. Yeah, I was born and raised in East New York, and then like later on I transitioned into Williamsburg, but I would never say I'm like from Williamsburg because I went to public school in East New York. I went to 149, I went to 292. So Maxwell, Thomas Jefferson, all that crazy stuff y'all know about in East New York, I know about that too. That's how I came up. So definitely there. And then like Timothy Stokes, Young Stokes, he's a producer. He was my homie in elementary school and in middle school, and then that's how I kind of like after we grew up and we realized, like you said, it wasn't a lot of people in those neighborhoods who were artists.
Yeah.
So the ones who were, it was like, let's stick together.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Let's make sure. Oh, sorry, thank you. It was like, let's stick together. Let's make sure we survive. So Stokes hit me up after we all, graduated high school and everything. He was like, yo, come back, come through, like, come check out what's going on. And
That was the beginning of the studio.
yes, he had a studio. Young Stokes had a studio in his basement, and I came through, listened to some beats. He knew I was doing the video stuff. Then he introduced me to Jasani Jacobs, which became my best friend for like 8 years. That's the same day I met you.
Yeah.
I met Zippy. I met a whole gang of people because, like you said, with Skylar Mob, it was like there's this crib, there's this basement, and all these creatives are just come here. It's like our safe space.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
a clubhouse.
Yeah, it was definitely a clubhouse. Yo, this was the same spot. A guest that we had, my man Radio. He was up here, and we were talking about when we got raided. You know what I'm saying? And this was at Stokes' crib.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, on the end of what you're doing, we also have other creators coming through from everywhere. Like, dudes are coming from Bushwick. Dudes are coming from Queens. Dudes are coming from uptown. Like, my good brother Peanut. It's like Japan. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody's coming from all over to this basement or these basements to share this creative space, which was wonderful. And that's where, I got onto who you were, and just embracing that, like, yo, you doing the video. And not just... just having, a different perspective on life. You know what I'm saying? How did that really come about? Were you did you travel outside of the neighborhood young to, have that type of mentality? Or what got you into that sphere? I'm sorry for the loaded questions.
No, bring it on, bring it
You know
on.
what I'm saying?
I gotta be ready for stuff like this. I will say that what my eclectic personality, my perspective, I think it came from like a couple of things. So part of it was like the music that I was allowed to listen to at home. Like there was no barriers. Like my parents worked a lot, so I had a lot of time to myself, and I had to kind of choose and pick what I thought was cool. Like nobody was telling me, "Oh, you can only watch BET. What are you doing? Why are you turning the channel?" You know what I'm saying? So like, I got to look at whatever I thought was cool. I would just watch it. If it was R-rated, didn't matter. Like whatever I thought was cool, I could look at it. My parents weren't. They didn't censor my shit, so I was able to kind of like just explore on my own. And even though I grew up in a neighborhood like East New York, or even though I grew up in Brooklyn, I wasn't like forced to only participate in like what would be considered like a Brooklyn activity, or I didn't only listen to the music that was playing out of people's windows or cars. Like I allowed my parents allowed me to go and just do whatever. So
they kind of like it was a line by Ye where he was like, you know what I mean, parents kind of stop their kids from, you know what I mean, being, you know what I mean, free or having these type of ideas, you know what I mean, to be like that. And that was important because, you know, my family was the same way. Very early on, Stokes had a piano, which was like, it was a up against the wall piano, you know, but it was still like, you're the only kid in the neighborhood with the up against the wall piano.
Yeah.
That's kind of different. You know what I mean? And it's not
common.
like the plastic up against the piano wall. It's like the real wooden with the keys that you gotta hit with the notes at the foot and things that matter. And that's dope. You know what I mean? That's really dope to hear because, you know, in a marginalized community as such, you know, you don't really get that idea. It's like free lunch, free music. That's kind of trash, and then some other bullshit, you know? So I never really got to, you know what I mean, properly, I think, with the title of, you know what I mean, while I'm actually talking to you. I mean, some people might say, it's his friend, and he's bringing him up here, and you know what I mean? And we don't know what he really does. Or
okay.
That might be at the chair when they sit up at the board, and they were like, well, this episode, what did he have with this guy? It was a radio guy last week, and it was an artist in the film.
Yes.
It's film. I remember you talking about this early on, not just like building on with Stokes, but very early on. I always heard you speak about film and how you was into that. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Like lighting.
Yeah,
that
as well. Yeah, that is definitely one of the aspects. Like, I would say that's one of the things that kind of separates me from a lot of people who do video now and people who create content. Like when I was getting into the game, you weren't a content creator. You weren't a guy who just did video. Like you were interested in some sort of like real aspect of filmmaking. And you were like, okay, I want to be a writer. I want to be a director. Let me get this down pat. I want to be a cinematographer. Now, when you get into the game, you're kind of just doing everything all at once. But back then it was like a bit more isolated. But yeah. Film. I was always interested in film. I was in a couple of film programs in high school. I got my start in video, period, by writing a full screenplay. Like I didn't know limits. Like I didn't know how long that was supposed to take you. But I wrote a full screenplay in like 6 months. Showed it to my teacher. She put me in a film program. Only like 18 kids in the city.
Hold on. Math, you know what part of the show this is, right? So what we do every episode, and you said you watched the last one.
Yeah.
Every episode, we give our roses to those who inspire us to be at these points right now. And we always talk about those teachers. We always recognize those teachers. So let's give it up for that teacher who gave it up.
Thank you, Miss Parr.
You know what I'm saying? Because Miss Barr, you're special. I don't know if you ever see this or you could get a glimpse of this or whatever it is. But every episode of our school, we recognize those who have given us the opportunity or just like I call it, let's say like the little key for Mario.
Yeah.
When he sticks it in the wall and it's go boo. And it's like, oh shit, I'm in another world. I'm doing film now.
Exactly. Yeah, that really set me off. Like, you know, because when you like you said, growing up in like these marginalized communities and stuff like that, my parents, they allowed me to kind of do whatever I wanted to do, but they wasn't like trying to be like, okay, here's $500 to go do a film program in the summertime. So she went on in her own spare time and found these film programs that I could be a part of. And like I got accepted into one of them, and then that one got me accepted into another one, and then I wound up going to film school for like a year, and it was just like beautiful. But yeah, filmmaking, I want to make movies. Like a lot of people just want to create content. They want to do stuff for YouTube. Like I actually want to make movies. And like that's where I'm headed right now. That's the path I'm on. Yeah.
Everything's movies.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know what I mean, within these clips, you know what I'm saying, you could take something off here and put it in that, you know what I'm saying?
This is gonna be in my biopic.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's important. It's like, all right, movies, you know. Early on, who was somebody that you seen that was like, all right, I'm gonna take some of that shot or what that view looks like, because I can't say that I like Spike's
camera work.
No. What he says sometimes in his
message.
I don't know. I'm not. I would consider myself to be a connoisseur of art, but not much in tune with the relics and the things that goes on within the movie world. But I do know that one shot that I always see that I know that's a Spike movie is like that moving image shot. It's like it's an upside down shot where it's like moving. And I know that that's Spike.
Yeah.
Who gave you a shot or did you see early on that was like that where you were like, oh, I'm going to do movies and probably add this in it? Or did you ever have that before?
Yeah. Well, this is a French director, but his name is Gaspar Noé, and he's famous for this movie called Enter the Void. And like a lot of people have their critiques of the movie, and but he puts elements in his films that will purposefully make you nauseous at certain points. Like he'll put music in the movie at a certain point so that you get sick. When you he'll match that with like a murder scene. So while you're watching the murder scene, you feel like you got to throw up. You know what I mean? And I was like, yo, the first time I realized that, like, cause I was watching a movie on a high volume, and I was like, the camera's kind of spinning around, and the music's playing, and it's like this like brown note. It's like, whoa. And you just kind of start feeling sick. You're like, I don't know. And when he showed the movie the first time, people left the theater because they were sick. So it was like he was weeding out the weak ones. And it was like, if you can't take the first 3 minutes of my movie, then you don't need to watch the rest. And that's the shit I'm trying to fuck with. Like, I'm writing this movie right now called Dominator, and it's about like it's about this gang in Brooklyn in the 90s, but one of the head dudes in the gang is like, well, you know, he's gay, but he doesn't know how to really express it because he never saw anybody express it. So he like dominates people, and people think he's doing it to be gangster, but he's really doing it to satisfy his like, you know, his desires. So when he tells somebody, yo, suck my dick, nigga, he really means like, yeah. So within the first 5 minutes of the movie, you see some crazy shit. So it's like, if you're not into this first 5 minutes, then we're weeding you out in the beginning. So that's one thing I'm borrowing.
We're gonna go deeper into the filming. For those that are tuning in live, those that are our media, S.STREET Media. Don't forget Art School. We're here, another episode on this brisky Sunday. It was, you know what I mean, a little by the nose, you know, you're like, oh, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's tuning in with us. I hope you got one rolled up. We have Rocko Seymour here. He's representing for all those that are interested in the film industry. You know what I mean? Just dropping some jewels with those. Yo, Math is in the back being an engineer, super engineer as always. You know, as we continue on, just wanted to remind y'all that we are here. And we have someone that's talking about some artwork. He said like, yo, the feeling along with the visual.
Yeah. Because I feel like movies could be empty sometimes, or they could be oversaturated with things. And like, you could watch a movie with 40 murder scenes and not feel a way. And I think that's kind of weird. You should actually, if you're watching a movie with a murder scene in it, you should kind of feel how that character feels. Like, it should have some level of, not necessarily realism, but make me feel sick. How does a person feel when they stomp somebody's face into the ground? Like, I should feel how they feel. So,
yo, you know what's crazy? You know what's real crazy? So I was reading this book, Michael Duchamp. I also have The Alchemist for anybody that's actually tuning in and they would like to, you know what I mean, pick up a read. That's something that we're doing here on Art School as well. We're going to start introducing some books. So
that's cool. Everybody
that has a good book that they would like to read and stuff like that or want to pass that information out there, we got one up here, The Alchemist. But I'm listening. Phone as always does that. It's normal. So we have, oh, snap. Oh, yeah. And we always talk about this, too. And this is another thing. Look at this. Look how crazy this is, right? American film market presents the business of media distribution. Jeffrey C. Ullin, right? Like, for real. So this is what we're doing here at Art School. And like I was saying, Michael Duchamp, he was having conversations. It's called afternoon conversations. No, afternoon interviews. And he's talking about how some of the artists back in the 20s, they were actually, like, you would come in the room, or installation art, and they'll have, like, coffee smell to, like, kind of give you a gist of what the show or the viewing would feel like. And I thought it was interesting because one dude had fans blowing, but it was like a stench.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? It was like horrible.
Oh,
but
God.
People were still really interested into going into like a gas chamber.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like the fly to the light. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who's some of those people that's been giving you the fly to your light right now?
Definitely, like as I mentioned, Gaspar Noé. I'm trying to think. I haven't really been watching any movies lately. I haven't really seen anything lately. Only because I've been busy producing a couple of my own projects, and that can kind of keep you in a bubble. I'm pretty sure, being an artist, sometimes when you're working on a collection or a series, you can't even look at what's going on with the outside world because you're so absorbed. But not Gasper, no. And like mostly French directors. Sometimes I get inspiration from animated films like Akira and like Ghost in the Shell and stuff like that.
Oh, I love Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah.
Ghost in the Shell actually connected me to Styles P. Ghost in the Shell, the mixtape.
Holy shit. That's a good.
I used to watch Ghost in the Shell at like 12, 1 o'clock at Cartoon Network, right? Or like if I could find the tapes, because it wasn't on the internet. It was like you had to find tapes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like during that time, like my brothers was listening to Styles P at the same time, so it'd be like this vicious attack of whatever they're doing with Styles P saying the wildest gangster ass bar, and you feeling that shit.
Dope.
You know what I'm saying? You are you interested in music with the film as well, or do you produce your own music for your films?
I usually reach out to people if I do need some sort of tracks, but as far as music and films, I think like music, it's important. It's definitely important when you're doing filmmaking. All the aspects are important. The sound, the actors, the color schemes that you use. Once I started to understand that, because like okay, some people just shoot stuff and edit, and they're not really paying attention to the soul of the song or the soul of the project. So it's like there's colors that will go better with the audio. You know what I mean? There's movement that will go better with the audio. And because a lot of people aren't really students of the game, they're just content creators or whatever, they just film in a pretty shot. They're not really trying to match the soul of the project. So
What's your favorite color?
my favorite color, yellow right now.
Yellow.
Yeah. I've been absorbed by that.
Have you checked out this show called Kitty with Jim Carrey?
I heard about it. I know it's on Netflix.
Please check it out. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, check it
Yo,
out.
Jim Carrey on, he's another.
Wild guy.
Whoa. I think this is like the second or third time we spoken about him on our school too. It's kind of crazy because we like, yo, you know what I mean? Jay Carey and his transition to the art world, and
Oh yeah, I was talking about that with my friend last night.
and which is pretty cool. You need to come on up here, man. You know what I'm saying? Two things that we're doing with our schools, you know what I'm saying? We're trying to get art snacks, like how they got rap snacks.
Yeah.
We're trying to get sponsored by them. So
Okay.
we're working on getting sponsored by rap snacks, and we're gonna make it art snacks, and we're gonna have like people like design the artists design the covers. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like give an artist a shot to design a bag of chips and stuff like
alcohol companies do that all the time.
that. Yeah, like come on, water, they're
Yeah,
doing it. So
yeah.
like, all right, so you got the no limit chili ranch pretzel stick, whatever the fuck, right? You know, but you know what I'm saying. Let us get some fucking art snacks, right?
Okay.
And then we can name it like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, we got my man Rocko up here. This is another episode of Art School. We've been talking film, art, books, all that good stuff. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in. S.STREET Media. It's your host, your baby moms. Yo, we're gonna go into another.
It's an S.STREET Media family, Trap Gang's new video and song.
Oh, okay. S.STREET Media fam.
Stoner's Hours.
Stoner's Hours. Yo, what's up? Yo, we're gonna get the bros up here too. Their show, Mad Bud, all day.
Damn.
All, like an hour and a half full of just like, dude, it's like Snoops. But it's like 5 Snoops in a room.
Damn, constantly passing.
So, shout outs to them and everybody. We're gonna get them up here at our school, and we're gonna talk about the art of marijuana one day. You know what I mean? See how that goes. Yo, again, we got Rocko Seymour up here. We representing. We're gonna get into this math whenever you ready, bro. Cause I'm ready. I'm ready.
Prezi. Pulled Pulled over in the trap, my black Mac and the Gucci purse. Leaning with my Nina, bitch a creeper, she will shoot you first. I'm always in the kitchen, Pyrex whipping, rocking Pablo's work. Before you run off and plug, you gotta catch the fucking body first. Prezi from the trap, Freddie Glove, watch me chop the work. Slay kill, beat the pussy off a look, she fucking squirt. She do the Akinelli every time I do the homework. I load the price on jump shot out of out, he's one to call for work. Kids on sight, no hesitation, watch my hitters work. You got the blick, we got the blicky, but we throwing fucking hers. I'm blowing on gas, little nigga, this the first verse. You don't gotta drop a bag to make a thotty fucking twerk. I'm about $1 for a quarters, couldn't change that. 100 for 100, nigga, this is where the flames at. You wore a vest, you get your vest tested, that's a snap of fat. Woke up sipping Henny, roll some haze, now it's Gentle Jack. Leaning with my Nina, way of life, and the fucking song. Little dirt nap, I made a strip about that black thong. Trap gangs, Prezi, Ricky, Bobby, don't get the facts wrong. Speeding with my Nina, you damn right, this my fucking song. Leaning with my Nina, way of life, and the fucking song. Little dirt nap, I made a strip about that black thong. Trap gangs, Prezi, Ricky, Bobby, don't get the facts wrong. Speeding with my Nina, damn right, this my fucking song. Goose and Deuce, boy, I been overproof. You niggas recording tracks, I bring the crack in the booth. Mike J shit, got diamonds on my shoes. Domestic diamonds in the fish scale, nigga snooze. Slime a green kush, my nigga fly, call it ooze. Bodies in the flowing wall like Boosie said choose. It's the game, get your life, you caught the stain. Hide your wife or pay the price, you chose this life, what's really right, that's really right. I gotta shoot a Billy right, squeeze it tight and keep it tight. No ratting in my gang, from the sewer, fuck a turtle life. Bel Air for the win, sour gummies got me tweaking right. I'm stuck up in my ways, it's the life that crime pay. If the feds throw a Rico, I'm putting Rico in the fucking grave. Got the plot dug already, I ain't even bustin' sweat. Trap gang, Prezi, I'm the leader and the hit man. Talking about that dope, I'm the cooker and the pusher man. Leaning with my Nina, way of life and the fucking song. Little dirt nap, I made a strip about that black thong. Trap gangs, Prezi, Ricky, Bobby, don't get the facts wrong. Speeding with my Nina, you damn right, this my fucking song. Leaning with my Nina, way of life and the fucking song. Little dirt nap, I made a strip about that black thong. Trap gangs, Prezi, Ricky, Bobby, don't get the facts wrong. Speeding with my Nina, damn right, this my fucking song. Pulled over in the trap, my black Mac and the Gucci purse. Leaning with my Nina, bitch a creeper, she will shoot you first. I'm always in the kitchen, Pyrex whipping, rocking Pablo's work. Before you run off and plug, you gotta catch the fucking body first. Prezi from the trap, Freddie Glove, watch me chop the work. Slay kill, beat the pussy off a look, she fucking squirt. She do the Akinelli every time I do the homework. I load the price on jump shot out of out, he's one to call for work. Kids on sight, no hesitation, watch my hitters work. You got the blick, we got the blicky, but we throwing fucking hers. I'm blowing on gas, little nigga, this the first verse. You don't gotta drop a bag to make a thotty fucking twerk. I'm about $1 for a quarters, couldn't change that. 100 for 100, nigga, this is where the flames at. You wore a vest, you get your vest tested, that's a snap of fat. Woke up sipping Henny, roll some haze, now it's Gentle Jack. Leaning with my Nina, way of life and the fucking song. Little dirt nap, I made a strip about that black thong. Trap gangs, Prezi, Ricky, Bobby, don't get the facts wrong. Speeding with my Nina, you damn right, this my fucking song. Leaning with my Nina, way of life and the fucking song. Little dirt nap, I made a strip about that black thong. Trap gangs, Prezi, Ricky, Bobby, don't get the facts wrong. Speeding with my Nina, damn right, this my fucking song. Goose and Deuce, boy, I been overproof. You niggas recording tracks, I bring the crack in the booth. Mike J shit, got diamonds on my shoes. Domestic diamonds in the fish scale, nigga snooze. Slime a green kush, my nigga fly, call it ooze. Bodies in the flowing wall like Boosie said choose. It's the game, get your life, you caught the stain. Hide your wife or pay the price, you chose this life, what's really right, that's really right. I gotta shoot a Billy right, squeeze it tight and keep it tight. No ratting in my gang, from the sewer, fuck a turtle life. Bel Air for the win, sour gummies got me tweaking right. I'm stuck up in my ways, it's the life that crime pay. If the feds throw a Rico, I'm putting Rico in the fucking grave. Got the plot dug already, I ain't even bustin' sweat. Trap gang, Prezi, I'm the leader and the hit man. Talking about that dope, I'm the cooker and the pusher man. Leaning with my Nina, way of life and the fucking song. Little dirt nap, I made a strip about that black thong. Trap gangs, Prezi, Ricky, Bobby, don't get the facts wrong. Speeding with my Nina, you damn right, this my fucking song. Leaning with my Nina, way of life and the fucking song. Little dirt nap, I made a strip about that black thong. Trap gangs, my name dead right, this my fucking song.
For everybody that was jacking or wants to jack another song off my playlist, that was the Trap Gang, you know what I'm saying? Stoner Hours, you know what I'm saying? They're here at Street Media. You know, we were just taking a little quick little music break and all that, which is cool, you know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's been tuning in. We are here still at Street Media Art School, another episode on this Brisky Sunday. We do this every Sunday. We did one special episode on the Monday. That was my boy Kaheem. You know what I mean? He just had a crazy ass color show. You know what I mean? Shout out to all the artists out there that's been having shows. I'm sorry I couldn't make them. You know what I mean? I've been around bustling and tussling and all that, but we're all here in the universe. And another part of the school, right? Because, you know, as I always say this, math gave me the opportunity to present an idea or present something or talk about something that is vital, and that's the University of Art, goddamn it. That's the goddamn University of Art. You know what I mean? As part of like hip hop or, you know what I mean, whatever they want to say we come from, you know what I mean, what stems from that, even though it's a new time, new generation, you know what I'm saying? We have this idea of like we come from like we stem from this. So part of the school is the visuals in the film and the direction and somewhat, and we have someone that is very in tune with that, you know what I mean, a good brother of mine, a good black brother of mine that I like to bring up here as well, you know what I mean, and talk about their entrepreneurial journey with their endeavors in the film industry. We got my boy Rocko up here again, you know. We was just talking over the break about this originality and things like that and so forth. And you've now discovered, well, you've been discovered for a long time, like you said, from your teacher or just knowing, like in high school, you know, want to do film, you know what I mean? You're now in the direction of creating your own. You want to talk about some of this originality because you said it's too many remixes.
Yeah. This is a big problem, and I think it's funny that you mentioned like the University of Art, because I feel like that was one of the dilemmas I had when I was in film school. I was like, but how do you teach the game this way? Like the people the people that I admire didn't learn the game this way. So how can you teach the game this way? This is art. Art existed before schools. So it's something that every artist should always keep in mind. Like art existed before schools. But as far as the remixes, you see it now. Everyone sees it. Like our parents be telling us, "Oh, that movie came out when I was a kid. Oh, that TV show. Oh, they redoing that again. Oh, that was from when I was there." And like they're just doing spin-offs of Full House and spin-offs of Roseanne, and like they bring it back to Murphy Brown show, and they just did like the Ghostbusters, and it's like we can't escape this bubble of like the 70s and the 80s, because so many of the people that like came up during the 70s, 80s, and the 90s, they went to art school and they didn't learn shit. But all they know is that they want to duplicate something that was successful, and then they just do remakes, and they just like say, "Oh, we're gonna make this movie, but this time with a guy, or this time with the girl, or this time with a black woman, and this time with a white guy." And it's like it's still the same movie, it's still the same story. So it's a problem. I don't know why they're not allowing artists to just do their art thing. I feel like I don't know. It's something that it felt like back in the 90s there was a lot more like original films. Like it was a movie that was written to be a movie, and it became a movie. Not a book that we just adapted to turn it into a movie, or like this was a movie and we gotta remake it. Like people was like, "Hey, I have an original idea. It's this movie called Scream. It's about horror movies, and it's about like using the rules of horror movies to survive a real life murder." Well, that's cool as fuck. That was an original idea. Now you try to come with an original idea, they'll be like, "This is cool, but it's not for us." Like we need something that's calculated success. I think that's what's fucking up the art game, and that's what's fucking up a lot of people, is this idea of calculating success and like expecting like, "Oh, I'm gonna pull this arrow, I'm gonna pull this bow back, and it's gonna go exactly where I want it to go." It's like, nah, it's actually gonna land around a couple of places before you get it to that one spot.
So your spot now is, you know what I mean, your own, you know, direction.
Exactly.
And
If you're an artist, yes.
What's that looking like for you though?
Oh, my personal.
Yeah, your personal direction. You know, you talk about originality, and that's like I said, I kind of meet people based off of what they actually do.
Right
you know
on.
what I'm saying? So, you know, I know that you know you're doing your thing. What's that look like for those who are not in tune with Rocko?
Oh, okay. Well, basically, I'm a music. I call myself a music video director, and all my friends will be like, "Stop calling yourself that, because you do way more than that." But I feel like that's what the world knew me as. I just shot a lot of music videos for artists in the tri-state area. But as of now, I'm technically a producer. And what I do is I produce music videos. Sometimes I also direct them. Sometimes I also shoot them and edit them. I produce multiple series. I'm producing a series for a 7-year-old. It's a YouTube series called Nyla's Got Swag. I produce a live music series called Sonic Gallery. I have a lighting company called 1-800-GET-LIT. So if you need party lighting for a shoot or for a music video or for an event, we got you there.
I'm really sorry about that. I had a show last year. And I have reached out to you early. And I was like, "Yo, God, I need some lighting because I want to put together this art show. Me and my boy Extra Ketchup." And I was like, "Yo, we got the show going on and things like that." And that's when I kind of like. I mean, you was working independently on like a lot of other music videos that I know. And I'm just like, oh, okay, you know. And then the lighting aspect, and I was like, oh man, this guy's really going into like filming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I really thought about that. I was like, yo, no funny. He's not just like shooting music videos. He's like got lights for the shit. Yeah. So he could make this move right. You know what I mean? And he's like making it into a business. How did that really like come about? Like,
oh man, it really started from like a personal interest. Like it really started from me. I would be at home, you know, chilling, and then I'd be like, man, I really like lights. Like it was something about nightlife, and it wasn't about the idea. I hated partying and being in a dark room. I hated being in just like a dark, sweaty room, and I was like, there's no atmosphere, and I really missed, like, I used to go to loft parties and warehouse parties that had, like, an atmosphere. Not like glamorous lofts. You know what I'm talking about. We used to party around Grand Street and all those, you know, those warehouse parties back then. And, yeah, I just missed the idea of atmosphere. So I would look up lighting setups, and I would look at, honestly, I would go to a lot of raves and EDM shows. And I noticed that those parties were always jumping because they always had like dope lighting setups. And I was like, man, if we could just bring this shit, this one element from the EDM world into like hip hop, and like you had wanted to do like into fashion shows and art shows, it was like we could make it pop more. It's another element because most of the time it's just a light that's on. Yeah,
that was important. And then EK had hit me and he was like, yo, God, I got a DJ that got this super lighting setup. I want you to look at it, and we already paid for him, so don't worry about it. And I'm like, oh shit, yo, his setup was like his whole DJ shit, and it was just like lit up, like it was like.
Oh, he had a facade, a facade.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Cool. I was like, damn, he had the lights. So then he had the little portable upshot shits, and I was like, damn, can't beat that for like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you see how him having lights made him have more value?
Yeah.
Like, it was like, oh, this is really going to be a thing now.
Yeah. What did you think about that? What did you think about that show?
Oh, I didn't go.
I thought you were. I thought you were there.
I was at the one that you had where you had the bed in the middle of the room.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I was at that one.
That was kind of crazy.
That was dope.
Yeah, you know, just putting on. I thought about film. And I was like, yo, what if somebody's shooting this off their phone or whatever?
That was so cool. You put storytelling, the art of storytelling.
Yeah.
You had that in your art show.
Yeah. Does that goes into your work as well? The art of storytelling?
Yo, in fact, that's going to be the thing that I will probably be famous for is actually storytelling. I feel like a lot of movies are about an event. And it's like this one day in a person's life. And it's like, yo, but real life is more than just one day. Like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, after that, there's an aftermath. What happens after Ferris Bueller keeps taking so many days off? You know what I mean? So
facts.
I know it sounds Yeah. So I know, and even like the Breakfast Club, like I'm into that. Like I'm into the idea of like, okay, well this is one event. You know what I'm saying? This guy joins this gang and he starts dominating people. But then the guy who messed with him when he was younger gets out of jail. So now what happens? Maybe he kills him, and then who does he become after he kills a man? Like movies are just one event. Like I get revenge for you, and boom. And it's like, what happens after you get revenge? What kind of person do you become? So as far as storytelling goes, yeah, I'm trying to get into that. I'm trying to make biopics out of fictional characters.
How many brothers or sisters that you see in the game that's really, you know what I mean, have some today has some storytelling, or you like you said, you just immersed in your own, you know, your own dwellings. I mean,
Okay. I mean, well, I've checked out. I mean, honestly, today we are lucky. We got Terrence Nance working on Random Acts of Flyness, which is this really...
yo, that shit touches my nerves.
Woo.
Woo!
It's a hard show to watch.
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's a hard show to watch, but yo, I'm not gonna lie. That shit is saving HBO, because I would not watch HBO besides the boxing.
Exactly.
So, yo, HBO, man, you're doing a good job with this. And it's, yeah, but go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no, you fine. You fine. This is your show.
Nah,
This is your show.
nah, fucks with that. I fucks with that.
But yeah, Terrence Nass with Random Acts of Flyness, like, that's very bizarre. It's very abstract, you know. Issa Rae is definitely doing her thing with Insecure, because that's a fictional character, but a lot of people feel like that's a real person.
Real person.
Yeah. Shout outs also to Donald Glover, without a doubt, for Atlanta, because even though that's fictional, it's like sci-fi. Yo, it's abstract. That show will have you going on a trip. So
Yeah.
I'm really happy. We in a place now where people, it's no more like Boys in the Hood stuff. Like people really trying to make spiritual, like urban, like, you know, things.
Yeah. I
yeah.
fucks with that. That's something that I see in the game right now. You know, some of those, like, I'm not gonna lie, Atlanta is just, I don't know if it's Fox Network and their mystical little sprinkles that they pour on our heads, you know what I mean, when they want us to watch something, like, yeah, you watch this.
They get us.
You know, but I'm just like, yo, I really like it. I really like Random Acts of Flyness because it touches certain things. I'm just like, yo, this is a topic in the community
Yeah.
that really needs to be talked about and stop, like, we need to stop fronting on it. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Just those connections and those dots are really important.
Yeah.
You know, so you got some things going on. You got how's it looking for you as far as the work is concerned?
Man, well, right now it's funny because I never thought it would happen, but I'm actually finding myself like taking a step back from like freelancing and working on other people's stuff, because I've been just trying to develop. I feel like a lot of people in this era, they don't develop like something that could be a bit long term. Like everyone's kind of like posting today, posting tomorrow, posting next week. Like I wanted to create things that like can be syndicated. I want to create something where I can sell the rights to Japan so that they could show 100 episodes. So right now I'm creating something called Sonic Gallery. It's already in existence. You can go to @SonicGallery on Instagram or go to sonicgallery.net to check it out. It's basically a live performance show, but it's a new format. Like it's not a traditional format, so that you can be introduced to like 7 different artists in like 30 minutes and then go about your day. You know what I mean? Or even less time than that. So it's pretty cool. Some people have called it the 2018 Soul Train. So because we have dancers. So I've been working on that. Second episode's coming out very soon. Let's see, I'm working on this YouTube series with the 7-year-old because ultimately, after we garner enough attention, I want to make a movie and put that on Netflix, and then just give the rights to Netflix. And then after 3 years, we go into Hulu, and then after 3 years, we'll go to Amazon. And like it's our, you know what I'm saying, ownership. I'm into like.
You feel better partnering, or you know what I mean? You said like, you know, chill with the freelancing type thing. Because it can be rough for artists in New York City. I mean,
I like it. It's just that it just so happens that, and I think this will happen with every artist out there. Like if you know, like true artists, and you are artists, so I'm pretty sure there have been times where you're like, fuck everything, fuck the T-shirt that you want me to paint. I have this collection that's pouring out of my mind right now, and I need to focus on this. So I'm not saying that I abandon duties, but I'm just, if someone hits me up and like, yo, I want you to shoot my video, I already know what kind of headache that can be. And sometimes if I'm not gonna say too much, but I will say
we
what
know what the bullshit is. We ain't gonna sit here in front like that ain't part of what we talk about our school too, because we talk about that real shit too. You know what I'm saying? It's straight up like that. Like we understand that's what that really is.
Yeah,
like.
people will hit you up and they'll be like, "Hey man, I just want you to shoot this video real quick, bro. It's not even gonna be a thing, man. I'll give you a couple of $100 and then like you just come through to my hood real quick and then we'll shoot for like an hour, bro. I swear to God, bro, you're gonna be home. Like we're gonna have food, we're gonna have licks and everything." Dude, you get there and they're like, "Yo, bro. Yo, we don't got the money right now, bro, but we gonna get you." And then like, "Yo, bro, we still waiting for the models to show up, bro. Can you give us another hour? You was only supposed to be there for an hour. Now it's hour number 3. Yo, bro, they in the Uber right now, bro. Yo, bro, have a drink, bro. Yo, bro, you want to smoke?" Yeah.
Cut the shit.
And it's like, what do I want to do that right now? Or do I want to like kick back and like find locations for this next show that we're going to shoot and hire camera guys? Like, I've really been becoming a producer because like I see a lot of people doing good stuff and I'm just like, man, y'all just out there, just kind of like creating beautiful images. Let's create something beautiful together. So I'm really into unity right now too. A lot of people complain about New York City not being united. So I'm like, okay, let's call your bluff. Let's fuck it. Let's unite. Let's all link up. Let's see what happens.
That's part of what we do here at our school and at Street Media and 1718 Collective. Shout outs to Sosa. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yo, send me those flyers, bro. Stop playing with me.
And that's what's up, because then people can't complain and be like, no, nobody wants to interview me. Nobody wants to...
Nah, come on up. But if you really with the smoke, come get the smoke. Facts. Because we really up here. I mean, it's Sunday, right? It's brisky. But the mode is New York City, we are a collective. And it's okay. Come on up here. We'll talk about your stuff. We'll talk about film. We'll talk about architecture. We'll talk about books. We'll talk about whatever it is that you want to do. But if you're from the town, come holler at us, because that's what it's really about here in the university of our school. Like I be telling people every episode, all the time. Rocko Seymour is here. It's your host, your baby moms. Yo, like I said, we got a good read up here today. The Alchemist. Also, Math had passed me another book the other time or something like that. What was that again? Let's get that up here. American Film Market presents The Business of Media Distribution. You know what I'm saying? Monetizing film, TV, and video content in the online world. Yo, you living in the online world. Mm-hmm. And I heard somebody talking about this today, too. And they was like, yo, 50 the king of that troll shit. Yo, you think movies are going to start to be trolled? Shit. Or they're going to be trolling in, like, the movie is just going to be like a big-ass troll?
Damn.
You think that's gonna happen?
I think that there's the potential for movies to become a parody of themselves, for sure. And I'm not talking about, like, scary movie. I'm talking about, like, movies really taking a dive and doing some dumb shit just to get people. They're doing it to themselves, though. The industry is killing itself. I'm sorry if I'm going on a tangent, but...
Nah, you're not, bro. That's what we do here. We talk about shit.
Yeah, I think movies will troll themselves with silly trailers and silly posters. They're going to have to do too many gimmicks to the point where it's not even about the story. It's going to be about, oh, look, this movie has a holographic poster. Let's go see this. Or, oh, the title of this movie is Invisible. Like, let's just dumb shit.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the have you seen the new way that they advertise in the trains, especially like on the L
with the screens?
The screens, and it's like you can see the 3 images going through and stuff like that. That's gonna be the way that they get you to the movie.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just gonna be like, nah, bro. Like, nah, bro. It's bad enough that it's hard to, you know what I mean, go on a date to go to the movies.
Exactly.
And spend $32 and shit. And now, you know what I mean, with all these ways that is, you know, it's like streamed out there, you know what I mean? So
you got options.
It's like, oh, man, you have so many to choose. So what's the film that you've seen so far that, you know what I mean, that you like to talk about, or you just say it's good for the viewer?
Let me see. What's something that I've seen recently that I felt like was legit? You know what I've seen? This movie was heinous. This movie, no one should ever be allowed to watch this movie. This movie, it was called Train Spotting.
Okay.
I saw it for the first time recently. This shit, it's like crazy as hell.
One of my favorite movies.
It's a good movie, and it's one of those movies that you feel what they're going through. You be like, oh my god, like
I'm about to watch that tonight.
yeah.
Whoa, and then that guy who made that is other movies he made also. One is a weed one with the two people selling weed. I forgot which one.
Yeah, that director's pretty famous. Other countries actually, it's funny because in other countries you could just get grants like all the time to make movies. It seems like out here we get grants, but it's like very special. But over there, it's like, oh, you want to make a movie? Okay, like straight up. That's how a lot of directors be getting their shit out there.
Yeah, so shout outs to everybody that's gonna watch this tonight. Train Spotting.
Yeah, brace yourself.
Brace yourself.
Oh, you got to put the subtitles on. They speak in Scottish, and that shit is so thick you can't understand a word I couldn't understand a word they were saying. Put the subtitles on.
Words of the wise. Train Spotting. Subtitles on. Automatic, right? Wise words from your homeboy Rocko Seymour. Yo, another episode of Art School. Yo, we appreciate you. As I continue to say this, yo, we give them the roses while they're here. That's really important.
Thank you.
Yo, I really appreciate you for sticking around these years and just being a creative. I really didn't get to speak too much about it, but I'm going to get into it. You know what the first song was?
Oh, yeah.
Wrestling. Macho Man. Y'all already know what time it is. Yo, avid fan as well. You came in here today with the Hitman heart.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yes.
wish you would have actually put it on.
When
we take our pictures, you gotta put the Hitman heart.
Okay.
You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Can we close out with some Hitman heart? Oh shit. Yo, on my page, Almighty_Math, I got a short little clip. You doing some film on wrestling and stuff like that?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I did an interview. So this is what I say all artists should do. In order for you to be successful, be organic. Create things that are natural to you. So I'm a big wrestling fan. I wasn't going to, I do this show, Sonic Gallery. We feature artists. I wasn't going to go out and do like a designer. I'm not really into fashion. I wasn't going to go out and do like a dancer. I'm not really into that. I'm into wrestling. I really know that. So I decided, okay, for the first one, we're going to interview a wrestler. And it was a wrestler who happens to be a woman. Her name is Vanity. At WrestleBay is her username on Instagram. And yeah, we did a little, I did like a 3-minute interview. But yeah, we dived into the indie wrestling world, definitely.
Yo, that's fucking crazy, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you, bro. When I seen it, I was just like, nah, I really fucks with that because that direction is just, I knew you as a fan already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just like, nah, he's actually like talking about it. That's like an artist when he really wants to paint that picture. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's how I feel in my world too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, these are the things that I want to do.
Yeah.
If I get like an idea or I'm into like knowledge and self and all that, I'm going to put that in my painting.
Right.
Because this is what I want to do. And I commend you for that because
you.
I'm like, yo, I fucks with that, bro.
Yeah.
That's some hard shit, man.
Yeah.
Like, how long you been a wrestling fan?
Oh, man. I mean, I want to say my whole life, but I did take a break. A lot of people took a break for a little while. Yeah. Well, what happened was I took my break. Like, I went from being, like, I was a wrestling fan from young. And then when I got into high school, I chilled. I even was backyard wrestling in middle school, believe it or not. Yeah, I would wrestle in parks in New York City because they had the foam. So it was kind of safe. It wasn't safe. I'm surprised that I don't have a broken neck or some shit. But and then I got back into wrestling when I was 23. So a few years ago, my friends took me to a show, and that was the first time I realized what wrestling really was. I started to realize the storytelling, how the characters walk when they come out, and like, this is how a bad guy walks, this is how a good guy walks, and like the way a good guy talks and the way a bad guy talks. So yeah, wrestling is teaching me a lot about storytelling and characters and shit like that. But yeah, I've been a fan, I guess you could say, my whole life.
Favorite wrestler?
Favorite wrestler of all time, I'll say Macho Man, because Macho Man taught me the game. Macho Man wasn't one of the tallest dudes, but what he did when he came out was he would stand on his tippy toes and he would raise his arms in the air and make him seem like larger than life. And he would have a cape. And I was like, damn, he understood, like, he brought theater into wrestling. You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's another level. And that's what made him one of my favorites. And he always told good stories in his match. He's the guy with the girlfriend who he'll fight anybody who talks crazy to his girlfriend, but he'll get his ass whipped most of the time.
Yo, you know what's crazy? One of my next paintings is the Macho Man.
Nice.
When he's holding Shorty in his shoulders.
Yeah, Queen
And he's
Elizabeth.
like this because he won the championship. Yeah, that's my next one.
Nice.
You know, it's coming soon though.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm working on that.
It's gonna be good when it drops.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm really anticipating that, but that's just those connections and you know what I mean? And just the likeness of it all. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
I see homeboy. I like wrestling for a second. I really just like the color schemes.
Yeah, it's very colorful.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I really was drawn to like group settings where it was like the costumes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I wasn't too amazed by Ric Flair, but his fucking suits was just like,
Right.
yo,
Right.
like,
You were drawn to it.
yeah, I'm just like, you know what I mean? I know you like the whatever, but you know what I mean? It was just like, even where they wore like, they ain't wear the capes. It just had like the boot set up.
Right.
And it's like, yo, I
Right.
like that. Like all the hearts on the Hitman heart.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
the way that they drew that. And then when they hit the pink, that was like black and pink. The only time black and pink was acceptable when it was on a pair of Reeboks.
Facts.
That's how deep I used to look at that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, nobody was really rocking black and pink.
Right. He was one of the first people with the drip.
With the drip drop. You know what I'm saying? Yo, one of my favorite punchlines, and it's fucked up because, you know, battle rap, they talk shit.
Okay.
Right? Is my man Chick Raw. He said, I fire shells and I'm quick to let a shell go and put a knot on your head the size of an elbow. You start wrestling and I'ma start throwing sparks and you gonna die trying to wrestle like Owen Hart.
Oh, damn.
Yo!
Oh, God.
God damn. Yo, Chick Raw from Pennsylvania, one of my fucking favorite battle rap disrespect. But I was hurt.
I feel you.
I was hurt.
That was a raw
damn,
line.
that
Yeah.
was raw. That was to my man Owen Hart. Remember when that happened, bro?
I got the phone call.
Yo, that was big. That was like super big. That was like
crazy.
a fatality of mega proportions because they were like blowing up as a group now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like he was he overcoming something? I forgot like
Well, his brother had left the company and like he had a new character. I don't know if anything was going on personally, but yeah, you know, he was trying to pop. And he decided he was going to do this thing and it was going to be dope. And it just didn't work out. It was a stunt. It was a badly organized stunt.
Yeah.
But
He was playing a character, the blue something.
yeah, like I can't remember it exactly.
He's a masked character during that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it didn't work out. I wasn't watching that pay-per-view at the time, but when it happened, my uncle called me and was like, yo, Owen Hart died. I was like, what? And we were kids, or some of us weren't. We weren't like kids, but we was young, and we didn't really know about people like dying. Like,
like
these are
sports?
TV
Like,
yeah,
what? This is wow.
Yeah, it was weird. And then I think, that's when everybody took the break. After Eddie Guerrero died and Chris Benoit died.
Yeah.
That's when wrestling was like, whoa, what's going on over here?
Yeah, this is crazy.
And that's something that I always wanted. That's what attracted me back to wrestling was the dark shit. So what's going on? Why are people dying? Like, what's up with the drugs and the steroids and what was they doing in the 80s? Like was Hulk Hogan really doing cocaine all the time? Like,
Yo.
is that why he was hyped up all the time? Like, there's little like dark stories. They call it dirt sheets.
Yeah.
That's what got me attracted back into wrestling and hearing about fights happening backstage and like if you didn't lose your title. If you didn't want to lose your title to somebody, like they might beat you up afterwards, or like little politics. So that's something I always wanted to like dig into.
No, that's flaw, man. We always talk about it. We talk about pretty much everything up here when it comes to those, you know what I mean, connecting the dots and things like that. And it's like the wrestling aspect. You see yourself ever really doing like a full-fledged film on wrestling?
Definitely, man. I feel like it's only right. I feel like I can't leave this planet until I actually create some sort of a wrestling film. They have wrestling films, but I always feel like they always show it in a bad light. They don't always show it in like the glamorous light or like the Rocky. We need like the Rocky of wrestling films. Just like how The Matrix is what it is for cyberpunk films. What's that movie? The Lord of the Rings is what it is for like mythology. Like we need that for wrestling, and I feel like I'm gonna make that. Because I just know more about it than people who made these other films about wrestling. Like, I'm not studying it to make the movie. No, it's part of my life. Like, it's organically a part of my life.
Yeah.
You see The Wrestler?
I did. I like The Wrestler. It's good, but it's dark and sad. And I mean that's a reality of wrestling for sure. But then there's this other reality where dudes stay healthy and they stay like fit. You know what I mean? They have different reasons for getting into the game. So yeah, I feel like there's a new era that needs to be documented.
You come back, you're in another space, like your spirit come back. Do you come back as a wrestler? And what is that wrestler's name? Did you ever think about that? It's like if I was a wrestler, my name would be.
Yes, I have thought about it. That's something that I never told anybody, but I'll say it here first.
Oh, it's a first.
Yes, I will be training to be a wrestler. I feel like it's the most organic way for me to like live a healthy lifestyle because I love wrestling and like I'm gonna do what it takes. You know, as opposed to just going to the gym just to go to the gym. It's like, okay, I'm not going to the gym just to go to the gym. I have to wrestle. You know what I'm saying? My character's name is Die Nasty, but it's like Dynasty.
Yeah, of course.
My character's like a mumble rapper, but he's like an entity. So it's like it's everything young and hip in one character. I don't really care for mumble rap or whatever, but I feel like let me embody that so I could be the crowd favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel you, and that's the way to bring on another time, another generation of things. I mean, for real, because that's what that is.
Yeah. If you think about DX and NWO, back then we had cliques and like everybody was in groups and squads. So
yeah, facts.
You know, now it's about like loners and like people being in their feelings and shit and being dark. So that's something I would embody.
Okay, that's smooth. You know what I'm saying? What companies that with? Because I'm like my uncle still watches wrestling to this day.
Good.
Stokes' father is Stokes' pops is like a big time wrestling fan.
Good.
So that's kind of crazy. Like like on a big screen TV and all that, he watches wrestling.
Good.
Who are you wrestling for?
When
And what weight class?
I would be considered like not a luchador, but I would be considered like a high flyer because if you're under 205 pounds, you're considered lightweight. And then because of my height, I probably wouldn't be having like heavyweight matches. I would be doing flippy stuff, is what they call it. So I have to work hard on being flashy with my moves because I'm not gonna be able to pick nobody up. Yeah, exactly, like Rey Mysterio. So I'll be one of those guys like jumping off of ropes like a Jeff Hardy type of dude. Yeah. So I got to make sure my moves, whoever I'm wrestling, no matter how big they are, I can still do the move. But that's like psychology, and there's like psychology in wrestling. But what company? New Japan Pro Wrestling. I like Japanese wrestling because they take it to heart. Like when they wrestle, they're doing it, and you can't tell them that what they're doing is fake. They'll smack you across the chest one time, you feel me, and like lay you out and be like, that's fake. You know what I'm saying? So I fucks with them. They have a dojo in California. After I get my shit together in New York, I'm probably gonna head out there and like just train and just go hard.
West y'all. You know what I'm saying? West y'all. That's what's up though.
That
man.
would be. I believe this. I believe like this other guy was on this other show earlier saying this, and I fucks with it too. It's like there is no plan B for me. Like everything is plan A. So wrestling, producing, like to me, it's all plan A. Like your whole life is your whole life. So
all a part of your entrepreneurship.
Yeah, like
all a part of it.
Do all of it. Do all of it. Why not? I want to do stand up comedy too. I think I'm funny as hell.
Sometimes, I really, really be like, yo, you know what? I got $50 in my pocket. I'm just gonna go to the city. I'm gonna do open stand up somewhere.
Yeah,
just randomly.
Why not?
You know what I'm saying? I'm great at karaoke. So I know that I can fuck with like stand-up comedy, but why not? I mean, that's what we're doing here. Yo, what? I ask every guest this as well when they come up here. It's like, what type of belt do you think you have in the film industry?
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Ooh,
what does that belt look like?
I'll tell you what, man. Oh, you mean like color? Like,
yeah. Like
damn, I'm gonna have to look at a chart. But I mean, whatever, the red belt.
Okay.
I got the red belt because I feel like anybody who's in the game right now could look at what I'm doing and say, all right, in 1 year, call me. We're going to do a syndication deal. Like, you're going to have the volume. You got the background. You have original ideas. Like I could dance circles around a lot of these people who do it. And I don't say that to try to be like competition or whatever, but it's like, I come from a really authentic place. Like social media came out after I decided to become a filmmaker. So I'm still becoming a filmmaker, but just kind of adapting to this new platform. You feel me? Whereas they're becoming it through these platforms. So it's just a little bit different. Like they have a limited scope. They're thinking 1 minute. I'm thinking 30. I'm thinking an hour. You know, I'm thinking long term. So
yeah. So shout outs to everybody that's into film. Shout outs to everybody that's been checking out S.STREET Media. You know what I'm saying? We got Math in the back. You know what I'm saying? Engineering as always. You know, it's a brisky Sunday evening here. We got Rocko, Seymour. It's your host, your baby moms. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. Yo, where could they find more about yourself and, you know what I mean, all that stuff for social media, blah, 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 interview questions.
Right on. I mean, honestly, if the best way to find out more about me is to follow me on Instagram at Rocko, ROCKO_Supreme. I'm with the times. I'm not gonna ask you to read a bio, unfortunately. Like I like those things, but I just know what world we're in. And people would like to see a couple of pictures from your lifestyle, look at some quick snippets of your work, and then say, oh my God, I love you. So go on ahead and go do that.
Real shit.
They're gonna be like, oh my God, you're the best. So go ahead, go look
Give
at
it to him. Yo. There it is. You know what I'm saying? That shit is real life. Yo, we appreciate everybody for checking us out. You know what I'm saying? It's been a wonderful evening. You know what I mean? I'm just happy to bring aboard another entity or another classroom in the University of Art as we are here once again, Art School. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's been tuning in. Yo, we've been talking wrestling and shit, so we gonna go ahead out and, you know what I mean, end this with some more wrestling shit. Everybody that's been tuning in, yo, peace, we love you, God bless, and all that, you know what I'm saying? 2018.